Hi, Cancer, Sun, Moon, Ascendant, or Venus. This is Dane, and I'm going to be doing your April 25th to May 1st, 2022 reading for you. Now, I ask if this reading resonates with you, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. If you're interested in any of the cards that I'm using, they will be listed in the description box below. Now, before we begin this reading, let us clear the energy space, raising our own energy vibration and releasing any negativity. There will be a loud sound accompanying this cleanse. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. Releasing all negativity from the body like storm clouds, letting yourself feel calm, centered, and at peace as we enter into this safe and loving space. Cancer, it's so interesting. I just keep on seeing a fish hook, and I don't know if you're planning a fishing trip or, you could be fishing whilst listening to this, but there's also the sense of like, I'm hooked on them, I'm hooked on it. There's something that we're hooked on during this time. It's like we're really intensely drawn to. But there's also a sense of like a stress reliever coming in to play. I see wings and a sense of moving forward. It's like I get to move forward, but I get to do so in freedom. It's kind of like there's a weight lifted off of our shoulders. There's like wings unfurling. So a weight lifted off of our shoulders as we're able to move forward. Very interesting. Okay. So let's start off with the energy we need to be mindful of during this time. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. This is the Six of Cups. We are going to have a tendency to be very reminiscent of the past. There can also be childish tendencies during this time that we have to be mindful of. But living in the past and kind of glorifying the past is going to be something that we need to be aware of during this time. Just rose-colored glasses kind of thing. Our chakra energy, angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading. We have the solar plexus chakra and we have personal strength. There is just a sense here that we are so much stronger than we believe we are. And there's power, there's tenacity. Listen to your gut, listen to yourself as we are moving forward. So let's see what the tarot has to say. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Okay. It's very interesting because there's an energy here of I'm almost afraid to listen to my gut. Like what my gut is telling me is something that is apprehensive, or I'm thinking, no, I can't do that. And Spirit's like, why? Why can't you embrace who you are and what you want? We have the Emperor, strong Aries energy. We have the Ace of Wands. We have Cancer coming through, Cancer. So we're coming through quite strongly here. Then we have Leo and we have Mercury. So there's a very strong power that's coming forward, something that we're very passionate about. We are being told to kind of take center stage during this time. And this could be something that we don't necessarily feel as comfortable with. There's a great sense of a message coming our way. And it's kind of like also you get to keep your knowledge and you get to move forward with your knowledge. So I'm just really seeing here, first and foremost, there's a message coming forward for you during this time, Cancer. It will be very easy to ignore this message, but it will keep on tripping us up until we start to pay attention. It's kind of like a little tap on the shoulder. Your spirit guides, come and do first. And then it's a bigger tap. Then it's kind of like a hit upside the head. And then it gets stronger and stronger and stronger until we have to listen. So just note that these messages are coming our way. There's also a sense here of being able to take what we've worked on with us. There can be a fear around something. There's also for somebody a sense of that's your intellectual property. Do not let somebody take claim to what is intellectually yours. So that's going to be, it's a very interesting message that's coming through. It's also saying you put in the time, you put in the work, you get to move forward with it. So that's going to be very important during this time, because there's going to be somebody coming in that makes us think, oh no, it's not ours, and yet it is. There's also, excuse me, there's also an energy here with the Emperor of being able to stand up for ourselves, stand in our power, stand in what we want and what we desire and what we see for ourselves and the way that we want to move forward. There's strong paternal energy around us. There's a sense of you are protected, but there's also a sense of I am finding my voice and how it's like how I'm going to lead my tribe. So it's this very interesting energy. It's like, how am I going to lead this way forward? But it's not just me. It's like, how am I going to learn to lead others? And Spirit is saying here, by example. It's like, by this is who I am, this is what I do, and embracing that even if others don't. So Spirit is saying, don't shy away from who you are during this time. There's, again, a very strong masculine energy that is coming forward, presenting itself. And there's a sense here of this power needs to be acknowledged. Now, it can be for some of us, Cancer, that we're having a little bit of a harder time embracing the sacred masculine within us. We could be having a little bit of a harder time embracing the power of our voice, or, really standing up for ourselves. We're thinking, oh, I'm being too pushy. And what Spirit is saying here is, don't do that to yourself. Embrace the pushiness, not the rudeness, not the arrogance, but embrace the fact that you are a lot more powerful than you're giving yourself credit for. And as you're embracing that power, you are embracing yourself. Quite literally here, as we embrace that power, God, Source, Spirit, however you see the divine, the universe, hands us a gift of prosperity and success. We have the Ace of Wands right here, that sense of this is our passion, this is why we get out of bed in the morning, and then we have Cancer coming through right here, Cancer. So this is us. We are showing up fully formed, knowing what we desire, knowing what we want, knowing what we need, but also deeply connected with who we are. We're guided by the moon. That's the solar energy that guides us. And so there's a sense of an ever-changing face that we present forward to the world. And that can be something that we might find a little disconcerting, because we can see so many points of view. We can see so much right now. And there's an energy of, I'm embracing me, and I'm embracing the fact that I can see the different angles of things. The fact that I'm not lost on my way moving forward. And so there's a real sense here of everything that we're looking at, everything that we desire coming together. There's also an energy here of it's more than what it seems. During this time, as we're embracing what we're passionate about, as we are having these new ideas, there's also, I don't know if somebody's painting while listening to this or writing, but there's also a sense of broad strokes and broad lines. It's kind of like, yeah, so that needs to come through also during this time. It's like being a little bit more bold with our expression. It leads us to the Leo energy. If you're born on the cusp with Leo, these parts of your personality, the Cancer energy, the Leo energy, they're going to be coming out quite strongly. But there's also a sense of, how do I balance that? How do I balance the powerful, charismatic, determined Leo with the gentler, quieter, more introspective Cancer? So we can feel like one part of our personality will eat up the other. We can also feel like there's somebody around us who's just a little bit more aggressive, a little bit more determined, a little bit more fiery, and they eat up our space. This is saying here there's room for both of us, and both our approaches to life and to the way that we do things is astoundingly important and is very, very powerful. So embracing that is going to be a very good thing. It's like, it's not all done one way. And the fact that we both bring power to the table and beauty to the table needs to be acknowledged. So let's go deeper. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels. We have the Page of Swords, the Nine of Pentacles, the Hanged Man, and the Two of Cups. There is somebody who's hiding their words during this time. This is somebody who's younger than you or who is more immature. All right. You would see this person, even if they're older, you're going to see them as younger. It's kind of like, okay, that's just how they are. They're a young soul, or they are refusing responsibilities. I just see this as somebody who purposefully pretends to be more naive, and pretends is going to be a really key word during this time. This person is holding back information, is lying. And it could be a lie of omission, but it's still going to be a lie. Their words aren't to be trusted. So just be very mindful of this during this time where somebody isn't saying the full truth. There is also an energy here, and this person does not have to be an air sign. This is a person, though, who likes to set up traps. It's just their thing. I don't know, because that's a sign of autism, like a person who likes to kind of maneuver people into being trapped by something. So it can be that we're dealing with somebody who might be autistic, who, we just have to be aware of their words, and the fact that, for everything that they say, they have kind of two meanings to things, and they want to see if you're going to know it. So that's going to be something that's interesting here. That's coming forward. There's also an energy here of, and this is a different energy coming forward, of I'm going to purposely hide my words to be malicious. That the other one isn't malicious. Like, they're not trying to do it. The person who is presenting kind of as autistic, they're not necessarily trying to do it maliciously, though they will call you out if they find that you trip up. But this other person is doing it maliciously. Like, they are holding things back, and they're saying, oh, well, I just don't know, or I'm not as skilled as you are, to put more on your shoulders, Cancer. But also so that they keep you off guard, and they keep you looking at them as if they're not bringing as much to the table as you are, because they kind of want to keep you, they want you to look at them as if they're not a threat, because they want to be a threat. So just be aware of this. The 9 of Pentacles. It's very interesting. I was reading about the 9 of Pentacles today, and I was talking about the tarot to someone, and the 9 of Pentacles has an element of loneliness to it. It's like, I've worked so hard, now I need to enjoy this. But I've never seen it that way. So the element of loneliness just popped into my head. But there's also this sense of, I've worked so hard, I've dedicated so much. Why aren't I going to celebrate this? Why aren't I going to look at my prosperity and my success and where I stand right now and embrace me? Like, I'm not taking away my worth just because, other people don't see it. So Spirit is really saying here, no, celebrate yourself, celebrate yourself. You might be feeling lonely because you could have thought that this person was going to celebrate with you. And this person winds up, just trying to trip us up, because I do see the ground is uneven as we're walking forward. So there's something here, and it's word games. It's not being as forthright or upfront as they should be. And they're going to try and take away a golden time for you. I'm just seeing a golden time coming forward. So Spirit is really saying here, embrace your golden time. Embrace what you have worked for. Embrace who you are and what you desire within your life. And as you do this, you will see that you start to shine more and more, Cancer. We're starting to look at things differently. There's also a sense of what we have been working towards. We can feel like it's not bringing us anywhere, and yet it's going to bring us everywhere. So just be mindful of the fact that we're feeling very frustrated, but we're also being manipulated towards this frustration. The Hangman comes forward. We're seeing things differently. Like, it's almost like the world was turned on its head. We're seeing things so differently than we had seen them before that we're doubting. It's like, what I'm seeing true? Is this really what I want? And as we're looking at it differently or internalizing things differently, we can feel like, oh no, this isn't where I want to be, or this isn't how it needs to be. And yet Spirit is saying, no, this is exactly what is needed. So embrace it, understand it, and then be empowered by it. The 2 of Cups is coming forward with us during this time. And as the 2 of Cups comes, there's somebody that we're connecting with that heals things. It's like they know that we're going through a hard time. They can feel it. The energy is just going to be rather intense. And so the 2 of Cups comes forward, and the energy here is a healing, soothing one. It's kind of like, when you get sunburned, that's just what I'm seeing here. Like, when you get sunburned and your skin is really irritated because you've gotten really bad sunburn, and you put on, aloe, just from the plant, aloe gel on your back, and it's so soothing. I'm just seeing this person coming in, and things have gotten fiery and intense, and this energy is just so soothing. It's just a balm on on us, that like on the raw exposed parts of us. Like it's just like it's been too much. So there's an energy of healing that's coming forward. There's also an energy of it's within your dreams. It's within your dreams. There's some sort of guidance that's coming from our dreams, Cancer. There's also an energy of when we're connecting with this person, don't tell them anything. Don't tell them everything. Spirit was saying, like, don't tell them anything, but don't tell them everything is going to be important, because there's one person that will come forward that will be very healing. It almost feels like, oh, they're listening to me, but it's not going to be that person. That person's kind of like a snake in the grass. The other person that comes forward during this time, that's the person who feels like it does. It just like aloe vera on a sunburn. It's just like, it's such a soothing energy. I don't know if this person smells like aloe. I know that's a weird thing to say. Or if they use, hand gel or lip balm that has aloe in it. It just, the aloe is coming through very strongly, which is interesting. Very healing, very soothing, coming forward. Okay, so let's go deeper. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels and spirit guides. So we have the Ace of Wands and we have the Eight of Wands. I'm just hearing the word Joe, the name Joe, over and over again, and it needs to be acknowledged, so I'm just putting that out there. We have the Ace of Wands. This is God's source spirit, however you see the divine, the universe, handing us a gift of passion and of creativity. It's handed to us twice now. So the fact that it's repeating, and before it came through as a pen, there's something here. I don't know if somebody writes, like is a writer or writing a book, screenplays. This could also be is an artist in some way. Again, there's a pen, there's writing, there's boldness within the word, but there's also boldness within the lines. So there is an energy here of either you write stories or I'm just hearing also medical journals coming forward. I don't know if you're trying to get a publication in something, but there's something about writing, having it been seen, or looking for the bold words within things. There's a passion that's guiding you. There's also severe artistic energy around here. So it's a very creative time for us to be embracing, to be seeing. There's also an energy here of it needs to be seen. It needs to be bold. It needs to be beautifully insightful. But this is awakening the passion within us, which has kind of died down. It's almost was like, do I still have passion for this? Like, is this still something I want to do? And this energy is coming forward of inspiration. Then we have the Eight of Wands. Things start to change rather quickly for us. Once we have this inspiration coming forward, once we're looking at things differently and the healing comes over us, all of a sudden things start to move very quickly. Actually, a lot more quickly than we had thought it was going to. So that's going to be something that kind of like takes us off. It does though. So Spirit is showing here that it kind of takes us off guard. We didn't think it would move forward that quickly. And then all of a sudden it was like nothing. And then it hits us all at once. It's like, ready or not, here it comes. And I'm just hearing, are you ready? Are you ready? And we're going to be surprised. We're going to be surprised at what is really coming forward here, or the speed that things start to change. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading. And it can also be that we start to see things differently, and then we're like, no, it can't stay the same anymore. And we have just this burst of energy that comes over us. We have the Six of Cups. We have the Five of Swords. And we have the Hermit, Virgo energy. Okay. So what's really interesting is over all of this, with all the energy that comes forward, the Mercury energy. Mercury represents Virgo, and is it Virgo? It's Gemini. Yeah, Gemini and Virgo energy is represented by Mercury. So that connects us with the Virgo energy here at our root. But there's also the sense with the Leo energy, us ourselves, Cancer, Aries energy coming forward. There's a lot going on during this time. There's a lot of people that we're interacting with. There's a lot going on. So acknowledging that our creativity and our passion and our fire is going to shine through everyone and everything is going to be really beautiful. But we're also going to have a tendency to over romanticize things, kind of looking towards the past, looking at things in a more kind of childlike way where it's all going to be black or white, good guy, bad guy, it has to be spelt out really, really clearly for us at times, white page, black print. So just being aware of this is going to be important, because I'm just seeing, it's like a story, and it's kind of like, I want to know who the good guy is, and I want to know who the bad guy is, and I want things to be easier. And it can just be how we're feeling. It's like, can't things just be easier so I can identify what needs to be identified and it not be so murky and mucky all the time? So understanding that that energy is going to be a current around us, like I just want it simplified, we have to make sure that we ourselves are not simplifying, there we go, things in a way that is actually detrimental, that we don't see the nuances. So being aware of that is going to be important. The 5 of air, the 5 of swords, we're facing a battle we've been through before. And it almost feels like it really off-puts us. Our footing isn't as solid as we would want it to be. And so here, during this time, as we're moving forward, we feel like we're walking a very fine line. And it can be that we are walking a very fine line with somebody at work or at home, or, we're trying to really push things forward, and we're just thinking, how do I walk this fine line of being able to say what needs to be said, but not, ticking everybody off or not getting myself in trouble, type of thing. We've walked this fine line before, but not with as much finesse as we are going to be walking it now. So just understanding that it's a tricky situation, but also understanding we've been in this battle before. Now is the time that we move forward with more knowledge, but also with more like awareness of everything that's at stake or everything that we're presenting forward. Because there is a sense of people have attacked us, and that's why we feel like we're walking this fine line, because it's like, no, you need to see, but people are really resisting the truth that is being brought forward. And it can be that we're just going to have different views, and we have to accept that. It's like, okay, you're not going to see it my way, I'm not going to see it your way. That's where we stand, and that is going to be enough. The Hermit is turning inward. We're holding the key as we're gifted with the beauty of passion and creativity. As things start moving forward, we start turning inward. So it can be that everything starts moving really quickly, and instead of being swept up right with it, Cancer, which is what somebody's really expecting us to be, like just swept up with all of this and just go and act, it's kind of like, now we step back. And that's really going to frustrate somebody, because it's like, well, you wanted change. I'm giving you change. Why aren't you just jumping on board with this? It's like, because I need to make sure it's the right change. I need to make sure I'm not just going along to go along, because that's not going to work. It's like, that just doesn't jive with us. So as things start to change, and as we start to see different avenues illuminated and powerful, we're going to be turning inward, and somebody's going to be saying to us, no, just go along with it. Or like, isn't this what you wanted? And it's like, I have to make sure. I have to make sure that this is what I want. It might be the way that you viewed things, but I need to make sure that this is right for me. And that's going to be a perfectly, kind of proper response to it for us, Cancer, even if other people don't see it. We have the Tower. I'm not surprised. Our subconscious energy to be mindful of is the fact that things have been shaken up. Things have been tousled. The rot, I'm just seeing, so interesting. I'm just seeing somebody taking like a broom and just twirling it around like this, and you can't see my hands, okay, twirling it around like this, and they're holding it over their head, and they're showing that all the beams are broken. They're showing that it's all rot, and they're saying, is this a firm foundation? So there's something here where there was building, but it was not on the firm foundation. And subconsciously, we need to be aware that the fact that the tower has fallen, the fact that the foundation was proven unstable, is something that we're still healing from, that we're still, rebuilding from. And that's going to be very important. It is, because it's like, it was all rotted before. You didn't want to be in there. It wasn't safe, but we didn't see it. So it fell apart. And now we're starting to see that like it needed to fall apart. Our subconscious chakra energy is universal light. This is the soul star chakra, located 6 inches above our crown. there is a sense of a brilliance to us. People will say, like, there's such a light to you. There's a shining to you. There's a brilliance to you. There is a light to us. There is a brilliance to us. And we need to follow that light. It's like things get brighter when we're on the right path. We start to see things. It's just like, it's so interesting because it's like the day gets brighter, even though the sun hasn't changed, even though the lighting hasn't changed, when we're on the right path. It's kind of like, you know, when you're sad and you're remembering things, they're all just a little bit gray, like the colors are really muted. But when you're remembering things that were really happy and you were really happy, the colors are very bright and vibrant. That's what it's going to be like here. It moves us to our subconscious. Again, we have astrology energy coming forward, people energy coming forward. And this is Gemini. There's a duality that's coming forward. And this is also what's so interesting is we have Leo, right? Now we have Cancer and we have Gemini. All right, Cancer. We are Cancer. We are in between Gemini and Leo. That's where we fall in the astrological chart. So here, our Gemini energy is coming forward. If we're born on the cusp with Gemini, there's a duality to us, but there's also going to be a duality to us during this time. And we need to embrace and understand and love and cherish both aspects of ourselves. There's also going to be dual things that we're working towards during this time that we're thinking, oh, but I want to give all my energy here and I want to give all my energy there. And subconsciously, we feel like we're pulled in two very distinct but very opposite directions. And we can have a frustration to us and we're not knowing why. This is why. The duality is why. There's also a lot of questions being asked and a need for deeper answers. I don't just want surface fluff. You know, we're just saying, no, the surface fluff isn't enough. I need to go deeper and deeper and deeper, which is very important to us. Then we have the Three of Swords. There's a heartbreak, there's a pain, there's a disappointment during this time that needs to be addressed. There is something that was a betrayal that angered us in a way that we weren't expecting and we hadn't seen. Okay, so what Spirit just interrupted me. There's also an energy here when it comes to the Aries energy that's coming forward, the Emperor energy of claiming our power and our prosperity and our desire. It's like this person, if this is a person, and for some of us this is a person that we'll get along great with, but we'll also absolutely know how to push all our buttons and that we can get really mad at. So just being aware of that energy, being aware of that ferocity here during this time is going to be important. There is something, it's triggering. I'm just hearing it's triggering. It's like we already have issues with this. And if we do not look at the situation and look at the healing that we need, we're not going to be able to move forward the way that we want to. It's going to be that the past hurts, pains, disappointments hold us back, and that's going to be a disservice to us. So being aware of that is going to be astoundingly important. We have the Seven of Cups. There's a dream coming forward, but there's also a choice that needs to be made. And we're not wanting to see it that way. We're not wanting to see that the dream is also a choice. And so here, again, there's some sort of creative energy that's coming forward, and that as that creative energy comes forward, it takes us over all at once, and it turns us into ourselves. So there's something here that's coming forward. It's really quite powerful. It turns us into ourselves. It has us looking at things very differently than we have before. But there's a choice that needs to be made. There's something that we need to look at, and we're going to think, oh, this is out of my hands. And Spirit's like, oh no, this is in your hands now more than it ever was. It then brings us to the Ten of Swords. The Ten of Swords, we're tired from fighting. We are. The Ten of Swords in the Rider-Waite-Smith deck is the person laid on their stomach with their back filled with 10 swords. It's overkill. It can also be beating ourselves up over something, going over something again and again and again. And it's like, it's not changing and it's not going to change. So here, it's being very mindful of this. This is also the darkness before the dawn. We are stepping out of the darkness that we have been through mentally, physically, spiritually, and we're stepping into a new dawn, a new way of moving forward. And this is going to be a time where we need to give ourselves permission to use all the knowledge that we have learned to empower us, to embolden us, and to move towards the place that we want to be. Because if we don't give ourselves permission and say it's time to rise, we're just going to hold ourselves back. we're going to think, oh no, I can't do this because I've been hurt before, or because it hasn't worked out before. And now Spirit is saying, no, 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 it is your time to rise. And with knowledge, and with far more than we had ever expected. All right, Cancer. I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I am sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all, and stay safe. Let's end this reading with a meditation, a clearing away of negative energy, a raising of our positive energy as we embrace the power and intensity that is a part of our lives and that is coming forward during this time. There will be a loud sound accompanying this meditation. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. May you move forward in peace and in harmony, Cancer, and may blessings always be with you.